Ladies and gentlemen, today's video is a doozy. Have you guys ever seen even around remotely this high in zombies? I cannot fathom this number. I know it's a little bit different. I literally haven't kept up with how freaking Johnny J. Go subscribe to Johnny J so he can get his stupid billboard so we can stop talking about Die Rise, and go follow Cruppz because he spent 92 hours on a zombies map. Let's see what's going on. I don't even know how this works.
On our hand. Cruppz did it. He managed to play to the first ever round 10,000. This is a monumental moment in zombies history. It took 11 years since the release of Shi No Numa in 2009, but it is
some dedication
been done. Congratulations to Cruppz. Cruppz has been someone who has been going for this record for a very long time.
That man just run through the flogger without getting hit. Dude, there's so much I don't know about World at War high round zombies. I literally have never gone for it. I don't understand how this high of a round is possible. It goes over everything known to mankind.
Almost. You might remember Cruppz. He was the one who helped me on my last Shi No Numa video when Riv had previously set the world record of 9,948.
Oh my God, multiple people are doing this.
Congrats to you, Cruppz. This is an absolutely monumental accomplishment and moment in Call of Duty Zombies history. Now, I've covered high rounds on Shi No Numa quite a lot.
Why was the round so fast? Dog, he just started round 9,999. Wait, what the heck,
I've
brother?
technically made 5 videos now, I think, in regards to high rounds on Shi No Numa. So for this reason, I actually debated making this video. I didn't want to make another video rehashing everything.
There's only 24 zombies per round.
On
really?
Before, in terms of how it's possible to get to these incredibly high rounds.
Please explain it again, Johnny.
I figured, though, a monumental moment like this deserves coverage and necessitates it. So rather than talk about how this is possible, let's go look back in time at the road that led us to Cruppz reaching around 10,000.
Okay, that's kind of explaining it, right? Bro, the dogs, hold on. The dogs are like 4 pixels in Shi No Numa. Boy, if you don't...
zombie leaderboards, and there wasn't really a large community dedicated solely to high round runs like there is today. Hell, in 2020, you can
literally
go to Best
dozens
Buy
of us
and buy yourself an Elgato capture card. That's not the case in 2009. You were lucky if you had a Dazzle. That's a throwback. Some of you who've been around for a while, or an HD PVR. And the easiest way to record footage back then was simply just to point your camera at the screen and start recording.
Bro, if you guys weren't around during the early founding days of YouTube like I was, you literally had to buy something, you know, those red, white, and yellow, the three cables. That's how you recorded capture card. That was the Elgato of that time. I kid you not, the quality was about if you pointed the camera at the screen. That's how most people did it, and it was you couldn't tell if they were using an actual recorder or using a camera as long as they had good lighting. It was unbelievable.
And now when you're doing that, recording an entire game feels unrealistic. The oldest record I could find is from July of 2009 by Sizzle Steps. This was roughly 1 month after Shi No Numa
on
came
screen.
Out. He reached around 2,147. Now, it's hard to be 100% certain that this is the record. I couldn't go back and find any older gameplay on Shi No Numa that was at such a high round like this. And apparently, if you went any higher, your record wouldn't be seen on the PS3 leaderboards. So that might have been also a bug at the time. Sizzle Stepso does have some round 400 gameplay on his channel from June of 2009. Now, I doubt that is the record.
Dude, that's 11
but it gives you a
years
sense
ago.
Within the first month of the map coming out, people were already pushing this map to really high rounds.
What is wrong with Shi No Numa, dude? No, actually, better question. What is wrong with people caring about Shi No Numa? Dog, this map has nostalgic value, and that is it. It has so much mud. There's one tiny playable area. It's such a bad map. I'd rather play Nocturne Untold any day over Shi No Numa. Any day.
For the sake of this video having some
radio's
sort of
the story
point, though, and for all intents and purposes, we're going to begin our discussion of Shi No Numa world records here with Sizzle Steps around 2,104.
I don't know if y'all can tell. My light just started flickering. Okay, dude, that was weird. I don't know if y'all could tell. My
Moving
light
on, the next
It's still doing it. Okay.
run
Shino
I'd
Numa
like to
is a
bring up
great map.
Yoteslaya's round 1,337. Yoteslaya reached round 1337 in December of 2011, about a little over 2 years after Shino Numa had came out. Now, this was not the world record, but I feel this video, at least for me personally, was what made me aware that high rounds like this on zombies were even possible. Yoteslaya at the time was one of the biggest zombie creators. So one of the biggest zombie creators on the platform reaching such a high round really helped the mainstream zombie crowd be aware that records like this were feasible. And it put
you guys might not know this, but Yoteslaya was the first like big YouTuber I ever talked to on my channel. I had like 50,000 subs or something like that. I don't remember the exact amount, but I played like custom zombies called like Stinky Market or Stinky Grocery Store or something like that with Yoteslaya. It was one of the first times I played custom zombies, and it was the first YouTuber that ever gave me a chance. Yoteslaya was genuinely such a nice guy, man. If y'all haven't seen him, like, he did pass away a few years ago, but genuinely one of the nicest guys I ever met. And like literally I was nobody and he was super nice to me. I was super nervous, could barely speak, and he's a great guy, man.
It of course was
Great
never
guy,
a
rest in
world
peace.
record, but it absolutely deserves a mention for its impact on the community. And the impact can be seen in August of 2012 when a person known as Legit Gaming 360 reached around 2,150. In his video, he had explained that Yoteslaya was the inspiration for the run, and Yoteslaya had inspired him. He dedicated the run to Yoteslaya, and what I meant by Yoteslaya making it mainstream was that by such a big YouTuber demonstrating that a run like this can be done, it directly led to somebody like Legit Gaming 360 pushing the record. And like he said, Yoteslaya was the inspiration for this run. This record would stand all the way until December of 2013 when the KSR Chronicles reached around 3,000. Now, this was the first time anybody had reached around 3,000.
I still don't understand how it's possible.
In 2014, we would see an explosion of interest in Shino Numa records.
Zombies health
In
caps.
June of
All of World at War Zombies this easy?
push
Oh, this gameplay.
29 rounds. 4,500.
Going Bravo 6. Going
The
Doc.
game would end with the zombies eventually getting the better of him. The record set by Jason Newbold would only hold for a little bit because in July of 2015, the Yahweh Wizard reached around 5,524 on Shino Numa. This game is important on the road to around 10,000 because it was the first ever game of zombies to go past around 5,000. So now we're halfway there in July of 2014. A few months later, in December of 2014, that record would get blown out of the water.
The first
by
face
Santos
cam we've
Bananas.
seen.
We reach around 7,112. He would eventually die, though, because of a cheap death from the dogs. And it's a shame he couldn't get any higher because just a few days later, Frenzy would come in and break the record
Frenzy.
again. This time reaching record
What a guy.
exploded over
What a
2014.
guy.
Over the course of this single year, we saw the record get broken 4 times, and the highest round ever in zombies rose a total of 4,200 rounds over the course of this single year. Interestingly
Jeez.
enough, after this explosion,
It's like not
of a
even
year,
real. It's like not
things
even
would
real
quiet
numbers.
down, and Frenzy would actually hold the record for quite a while. Insta-Killer came along, and he reached around 9,072 on Shino Numa. This record became quite famous in the zombies community. At this point, there were now established sites dedicated to tracking and maintaining zombie world records, and people could go to these sites and
all
see
the
that
zombies are
Insta-Killer
dying
not only
super
had the
fast,
Shino
even
Numa
doing
world record,
PPSH.
but the highest round ever in zombies. It made him a legend in the zombies community, and he held this record for 3 years.
Can you imagine playing a single game of zombies for 92 hours? I would rather die. I mean, I respect the high runners who have this kind of dedication, but
push the record incredibly high.
Nope.
And in spite of the fact that this carrot hung in front of the zombies community, over the course of 3 years, it stood strong.
oh,
Then
that
came
was
along Riv 10.
definitely a
Riv was a
cheap
relatively
death.
new face in the zombie world record scene. He had only been streaming for a month or so and exclusively streamed Shino Numa. The game ended in tragedy. Much of the zombie community watched with great excitement to see this new face break the zombies world record and potentially reach around 10,000. Sadly, it wasn't meant to be.
What happened?
And Riv would go down. Now I mentioned that
No,
Cruppz had been
show the
actively
down,
trying
Johnny!
to push this record for
Oh,
several
I wanted to see how he
months.
died.
In fact, over the past 7 months, he had been going really hard to try to break this record, playing almost every day.
Bro, it basically takes 7 months of in-game time to get there. Dude, I love how World at War's like crash timer, essentially like the Black Ops games, you can only get to around like 255 before the game crashes. Like this one has such a like high crash timer, it's insane.
As a result, Cruppz eventually went back to using that more traditional strategy, and it paid off because not only did Cruppz break the world record, but Cruppz has now achieved the world's first 10,000 in zombies. After 7 months of grinding, 9 freezes, 3 errors, and countless restarts. Crupp's hard work.
I take it back. The game is trash. Zombies has always been an unstable piece of trash.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is how we got here. Starting back in June of 2009 with people claiming world records by
Okay, I gotta know. I gotta know how it's possible.
television.
High round solo strategy for noobs in 5 minutes. This is machinima. In 2012.
I was trying to
Oh
find
my
high-
gosh, what a throwback.
All the other perks back and then some new weapons.
He's using the rank. Oh my
original
god.
version.
I don't care anymore. All I know is that people who play zombies for 92 hours are absolutely crazy.